Happy July, everybody. It is Casio time, which means it's eRacing GP Endurance Edition back on your Facebook screens or whatever limits you are using. Alex Young alongside Des Corkill to talk you through round 4 of 6 for this championship. Alex, welcome back. Nearly 50 entrants once again for this competition.
Yeah, it's been really good. First of all, had a good, healthy interest in driving with us, and I just really enjoy them because we're really getting to know the teams and the drivers by now, and we can see them improving all the time, and the competition's getting better, the drivers are getting better, the strategies are getting better, the liveries are getting pretty cool as well. So I'm looking forward to another 4 hours of excellent GT car racing.
Indeed, we're going around the Paul Ricard track in France. We'll give you a little bit more of that. The format for today is there's qualification for the GT4 races, of whom I think we've got 15 entrants or 14 entrants, and then the GT3 races have 15 minutes, and then we've got the 4-hour endurance where the teams, there's various limits that they've got to stick to, no more than 75 minutes in a car for any one driver.
That's right, you've got 75-minute stint time, so they can't go any longer, and there's a maximum driving time and minimum driving time as well. I think you need to hit 19% at minimum of total driving time, and the maximum I think is 59%. So that makes sure that plenty of the drivers get to go. Most teams for a 4-hour race have gone for 2 drivers, some with 3, and I think there are 2 teams with 4 drivers.
Okay, listen now, we're mentioning the drivers. Let's have a look at who you are picking out as being the key teams to look out for.
Yeah, okay, so let's just remind ourselves of all the different teams that are making impact so far. So we'll start with Stratos Motorsports. They actually got 5 entries today. It's not neat, they're great neon green and black livery. They're leading the championship right now with car 111, Keep Aslan from Malaysia. Alif Hamilton, his teammate in the first few rounds, has not been able to do it, so Tasby is now taking over that seat. But this is the car that's leading the championship. Another team that's very good, of course, is Laundry House. And Laundry House right now, wow, they had a big round 3, didn't they? They finished first and second, with car 90 finishing first and car 911 in the Porsche second. Car 90, of course, in the McLaren. Now, they're second and fourth in the championship. The Porsche's 911 is in second, while car 90, the McLaren, is in 4th position in the championship. And it's getting very, very close. Don't forget, we have got drop rounds, and it's going to go all the way. Third in the championship, the GT3 boys, Wacos Flip Table Racing. They're very interesting. Out of Hong Kong, they've got the Mercedes there, they've got the Hong Kong, the BMW, sorry, and of course the Aston Martin. And I think it's a car in the Merc. The Mercs are the quickest, isn't it? I think with the Kin Long Lee and who's his teammate? I think Jonathan Wong. And anyway, these bunch of drivers are doing a really good job, and hopefully we'll see the 3 of them right up there. And then another good team from Singapore, Legions of Racers. Wow, you got Andika Rama there with Moreno Pratama. The all-Indonesian team in car 889. They both run the Mercedes. And then the slightly younger team, really, they're Dylan Tan, Luis Moreno from Philippines in car 144. These are the guys to watch out. They're one of my favorites today. You know, they love the Mercedes, and of course, they're a real top team. Now, another team that's also very good that we have to mention is Team Uncle, because we have got two classes today, and Team Uncle right now in the Merc is leading the GT4 class. The GT4 cars are slightly slower than the GT3 cars, but the competition is just as intense. I think there are 15 GT4 cars here today, and Team Uncle is winning right now from Singapore. Unfortunately, they actually have got a teammate, which is Team Uncle 2. Unfortunately, that car will not be driving today because all 3 drivers have been called up to go for COVID testing because there's a mini outbreak in Singapore. So I don't think that car will be running, unfortunately.
Well, these are the championship standings as they are. Stratos Motorsports, as you say, they are top of the pile. Wacos Flip Table Racing, car 969 in second. Speed Tavern, who you didn't mention there, they're in P3. That's car number 49 out of Malaysia. Laundry House, 5th at the moment and 7th in overall. GSR Esport from Malaysia also in their team. Tedco Full Pace Racing out of China. Have they got an entry in today? I know they were in the start list. And then JMX Phantom from Indonesia. They are the GT3 Championship top 10 teams as we speak. Okay, you did mention there's GT3 and GT4. The qualification starts with a 15-minute for the GT4 guys. Team Uncle, you mentioned as possibly the best team at the moment. Who else should we be really looking out for?
Well, we're riding right on board with them. Bernard Chan with the Academy car. They won round 1. They did not have good rounds 2 and 3s. Had crashes in the first hour, so they didn't get any good results there. And it's wet. Wow. Des, you love the wet, don't you? And it's definitely wet out there, so they'll be on wets as they go through the track.
I do love the weather. One of the features of this game, if you look onto the top right of your screen, you can actually see what kind of weather that we are getting. And sadly, it looks like it's going to brighten up a little bit later. But wet causes all kinds of problems. Tyre selection, getting used to it. And also, if the track gets greasy, any chance of a mistake and you can head off. And there's a little mistake just in qualification. Who have we got in qualifying? Oh, you're on board with Bernard Chan. Edward Wong is out there at the moment. Do you want to talk us through a lap, Alex? We're at the Paul Ricard Stadium, Paul Ricard venue, which is unusual in that it's got that huge, long 2 meter straight at one end.
Yeah, it is. It's massively long straight. We could actually have a look at one of the graphics now, actually, if you want to. It is a long track. It's in the south of France. Beautiful part of the world to be in. We will go on for a lap, but this is what it looks like. See that massive long straight you were just talking about, that back straight there, over 2 kilometers. So you need a car that's quick in a straight line, otherwise you're going to struggle for lap time for races. It's kind of very, very, very super flat and very interesting to drive, but it's a sort of track with a lot of technical corners where long corners kind of flow into each other, but they tighten up a lot. So it's not the sort of track you can attack. The drivers that attack and superly aggressive, they tend to go slow here because it's very easy to overdrive. So that's one of the things that all the drivers have to watch out for. And here we are, we're riding on board right now with Edward Wong as he's going down this long back straight. It just goes on and on and on and on. You can literally take a while, have a cup of coffee, and you still haven't reached the last corner before you have to turn.
What's the dangers there? Surely that's overtaking opportunities.
Oh yes.
If you've got slipstream, then you can drag. But do you wait until the corner until you make your move?
Yeah, you do. You can do that, or you can try and mug them. You see, here we are on board with Matrillo and VRS Racing from Philippines. You can definitely try and mug someone into these next few corners as well. So that's kind of interesting to watch. You want to try and go on board with Edward Wong. Let's see if we can find him. Oh no, he's down the back straight still. He's still ages to go. We'll go back to Edward Wong. Sorry, I'm getting my names mixed up here. Who's just about to start a lap. We'll try and go on board with him, see what it looks like from his point of view. Here he is going through the last corner. Very tight corner. You got to get a good exit out of here because it comes down the start finish straight. And the start finish straight does go on for quite a bit, and you can hear the roar of that Asimo. Oh, he's just set a lap, so he's going to start again. I don't know. Let's try and follow Francis Matrillo then. He's about to start a lap, and he's behind the other Academy car of Adam Kondrolochis. So does Matrillo go quickest? No, he's second at the moment, so he has to try and improve. See, this front straight is quite long in itself. Braking for turn 1. Oh, he's got the back marker there. Adam's very slow at the apex there. That's going to compromise his Matrillo's lap. See if he can get past Kondrolochis as he comes out of turn 2. Gets through turn 2 nicely. It is still very greasy down there. Should, with more rain forecast actually, so I got a feeling this qualifying might be wet all the way through. And then through turns 4 and 5. These corners again, look, this corner is very easy to overcook it. You've got to go slow down the car so much. It looks like you can carry so much speed, but you can't. And this is the most important corner on the track. Small lift on the curb, and you gotta get a good exit out here because that exit leads down this massively long straight. Okay, now we got 2 kilometers to go. Put the kettle on, and just you're sitting there. So you really need to choose a car. You've got to set up the car for top speed because this back straight is where all the overtaking is going to happen. And you can see, it's just massively long. Let's see, is he faster right now? He's equaling his quickest lap, which is an 11.1 so far. He needs to find 3/10 if he's going to beat Edward Wong in the racing line car for pole position. Finally, we get to the end of the long straight. This turn 8, this corner, fantastic corner, especially when you get into something like fast, like an LMP2 car or Formula 1 car. Well, in a Formula 1 car, actually, it's easy flat. But you can see in these GT4 cars, you have to brake, slow down the car a bit. This tightening corner here, turn 10, 9 and 10, it's a double corner. Then this next one, turn 11. You always want to charge in here, but you have to go wide and slow down the car, make sure you get the apex. He does nicely. That would have been nice. And he's still not up. He's like half a second up at the moment. Sorry, half a tenth up, which is not much at all. 2 more corners to go. Don't overcook it, don't go too wide. Try and keep the distance a bit shorter if possible. And then it's the last corner. Watch this, just get the car slowed, get it out of the corner in time. And that's a lap of Paul Ricard. 14 corners, massive long straight. That takes up pretty much almost half the lap. And does Matrillo go quicker? No, he's P2 still.
P2 for Matrillo in GT4. The thing that struck me there was the need for concentration, because you've got 2 circuits within one there. You've got to really watch yourself around all of the corners, and then on the long straight, if you're not in a really good position entering that long straight, that could really compromise your lap.
Yeah, it is. So you have to be careful with that.
Edward Wong is quickest at the moment. We're on board with Edward as his lap time. So what have we got? He's got a 2:10.7. Are you expecting quicker than that? The conditions do look to be drying up just a little bit as Edward Wong for the Team Racing Line maintains GT4. Team Racing Line they need a good performance in this round 4 of 6 as we are on board with Jason Chu.
Yeah, we have to follow him on board because he's 6/10 up on his fastest lap. This could be good enough to challenge for pole position. Komachi Racing, of course, won the last round. Where were we at? Nurburgring. So we won the last round at Nurburgring. So let's see, Hong Kong-based team. Tightens up again, tightens up, gets that good. He doesn't go wide, takes a very different line through this left-hander turn 11 than we just saw from the Racing Line cars, interestingly enough. And now 2 more corners to go. Oh, he's 9/10 up now. Des?
On his old lap, yes. Will that be quick enough? I'm not sure that's going to be quick enough for top spot, you know, because who's put that top lap in? Calix Poon has just put in a 2:10.4.
That's his teammate. And there he goes. Jason 2 goes up to second. Sorry, we don't have the leaderboard at the moment. We'll fix that in the break. But at the moment we just got the GT3 cars there. So, but yes, that's a good lap by Poon. Go back to the other Komachi Racing car. There he is in first position. Komachi Racing first and second. A really good job.
They only came on board in round 3 for the first time. It was great to see them. Now they're looking like they're here to stay. And even though they missed the first 2 rounds, Alex, they're not out of championship contention, are they?
No, of course. Absolutely, because you have to drop rounds from one score, so it will allow them to come back in.
Quick overlook. Those red and blue stripes are a feature of Paul Ricard. Qualifying has got for the GT4, they've only got 2.5 minutes left to actually put in a lap time. That's a spectacular view there. We're still on board with Calix Poon here. A 2:10.404. That's the fastest lap so far, ahead of Jason Chu. Edward Wong in P3. Matrillo, who's in the pits, has dropped down to P4. Eamon Danish is now in P5. Bernard Chan down in P6, Alex Young.
Yeah.
Wow, what's happening with Bernard? He's not having the best of laps.
Yeah, he's had a few I think he's had 2 poles already this season. Okay, we're running out of time because he's only allowed to be out for the first 15 minutes. Then the GT3 boys go. So here he is to the all-important turn 6 and 7, which leads him to the back straight. Oh, that looks okay. That looks pretty tidy. He's actually 3/10 up on his lap now. So if he can keep his progress all the way to the end of the lap, maybe he can challenge for the front row. Well, certainly the second row at least. He's got a bit of a tow from the car in front. I believe that's the Team Uncle car right in front of him.
This is the Academy. Edifice Casio, welcome on board as sponsors, and also to Royal Selangor. Thanks for your support. We're gaining more and more traction the longer we go. I tell you what, this long straight is a brilliant time to plug the sponsors.
Yes, it is. Got so much time. Okay, now goes through turn 8. That looks very neat, actually. Looks very conservative at the moment. And he's lost all that time he gained. So, not having a good time in qualifying. Bernard Wong in the Porsche. This is not the sort of pace we expect from him. But I guess he's just struggling with the wet conditions, because for sure in the dry conditions he'd be battling for pole position.
Yeah, Bernard Chan from the Academy, currently P6, a best time of 2:11.885. And
yeah, he's not going to improve in this lap. Let's go back to Edward Wong though, because Edward Wong in the Team Racing Line car, he's 4/10 up in the Aston, so he's definitely on the charge. Is this good enough for pole position?
And where is he on the lap? Because he's only got 30 seconds.
Yeah, he's got 2 more corners to go though. He has just enough time to finish his lap. Let's see. Oof, running a bit wide there. That's not too bad though, because he's able to V it and get over to the left for the last corner. And he does. 5/10 up. Oh, it's going to be close, you know. This should be good enough for second on the grid. but I'm not sure if it'll be good enough for pole.
Edward Wong goes over the start finish line, moves up to P2, gets ahead of Calix Poole, but is behind Jason Chu. That's the qualification for GT4 is over. And let's just have a quick look at how it looks. They are the qualifiers so far. Jason Chu in the BMW fastest. Edward Wong second. Poon in P3. BMWs for the GT4, Alex. 3 of the top 4 places. Danish in 5th. Bernard Chan in the Porsche in 6th. Alves on debut in the BMW 7th. Coe in the Merc. Wolf, another debutant in the Porsche. And Muhaimin, part of a 4-man team in the Mercedes, completing the top 10. As you can see, we have got 12 competitors who've completed the starting grid.
Yeah, so that's interesting to see. 12 competitors. BMW seem to be the car to be in at the moment. You know, they're all going very well indeed. Back on track now. GT4 cars, that's it. They're done. Their qualifying is done. Now it's down to the GT3 boys. And we're riding on board with Yat Lam Law from Hong Kong. He's in car 939. Yeah, this is the car. You know, this is the car that has had a good run in the last round, but in rounds 1 and 2, struggling for pace. The BMW not seemingly very quick at all the tracks in this game at the moment. He's got his teammate, which is number 969 in the Merc. He's 4th in the championship. That car's doing very well as well. So, cars to look out for in these wet conditions. Wow, it could be anyone's game. If it was dry, I would have said cars like the McLaren, cars like the Porsche. Those are the cars that would be favourite for pole position. But in these wet conditions, you know, anything can go. Mercedes, we're on board with Mercedes right now. That's Legion of Races car, number 144. Luis Moreno from Philippines doing the qualifying. And you can see the traffic jam coming as it's about to start the lap, waiting for the last corner to come. It's like Formula 1 qualifying at Austria, where there's a big traffic jam. I would give myself a bit more space, guys. Come on, you don't need to be tripping over each other. Likewise, no one's going to set the fastest lap of the race, of qualifying, should I say, on the first lap. That's going to get better. The conditions will get better towards the end of this qualifying, because I don't think more rain is planned. Having said that, I'm just looking at the graphic at the top right, and it does have that plus sign next to the clouds, so maybe more rain is forecast. So, and if that happens, then maybe all the quick lap times will get done set in the first 5 minutes.
Obviously, the first 4 hours of the first few minutes of a race aren't huge enough 4 hours, but you can lose races early on. You can't win them, but you can lose them. We've seen a couple of times already the Team Laundry House have had problems when the weather's gone against them.
Oh, yep, just
got a problem. We've got a freeze there.
Yeah, we'll come back. Anyway, it might be a good time to go through the entry list before we just do this.
Indeed, let's do exactly that. We've mentioned several times who the teams to watch out for, but there's a huge 45 team groups. We've got racers from the Philippines, from India. Welcome to Sai Prithvi and Sudhakar and Rishmi Banerjee. So Banerjee's been a racer before. Sudhakar I've not seen before. From Malaysia, Hakim and Nabil Iman, they are new names to me. Legion of Racers out of Singapore, Stratos we know all about. Blue Steel Racing driving the Ferraris, car 401. Also welcome to Macau E Motorsports, that's Junio Pereira, Scott Lee and Leigh Sabino. They've raced on eRacing before, but welcome back into the Endurance Edition. Indonesians here, Andika Rama, one of my favourite racers, great to get him involved. From the Philippines we've got VRS Racing Team GL in the BMW. Hong Kong Komatsu Racing, we've seen them in the GT4. We're going through the GT4 entry list now. Interesting that the GT4s, they gave more drivers more opportunity. You've got 4-man teams there from Malaysia.
Quite new to ACC still, but wow, look at the Legion of Racers car 144 just pushing so hard right behind Nakib. So that Mercedes looks like it's filled with grip. The 144 car hasn't done a lap time yet, but both these cars, just watch them as they come out the exit of this corner. Oof, looks like a good exit by Nakib. Nakib's 2/10 up on his lap time. His fastest lap so far is a 59.7, half a second off pole at the moment. We got Pui Pui Racing, I think, in first. So he's got to find half a second He's 2/10 up at the moment. Half a lap to go. He could find that time.
But he's got no slipstream, so I'm not seeing how he's going to get any drag. But that's, or can you make up that kind of time on that long straight?
Yeah, well, even though you see the car's quite far in front, you will get a benefit of a slipstream a little bit. Now here we go to turn 9 and 10. Looks good, actually. Get on the power nice and early, use the curb, nicely done. He's closing on the car of Triple L in the Wacko Slip Table Racing Aston Martin there. So this is looking like a tidy lap by Aslan. See if he gets good exit out of it. So it's so easy now as we come to the last couple of corners in the lap to suddenly push too hard and do all the good work and make a mistake on the last corner and undo all that work. Wow, he's attacking, go 4/10 up now. Easy, make sure you get to the apex. He does. That's a great exit by Aslan, and he's got a bit of a slipstream. He's 5/10 up on his lap. This could challenge for pole position for the Stratos Motorsports 111 car, and it,
P2.
P2,
A
just
159.2 is just 700ths down on pole position, which is held by Kyo Yim. Let's have a look at Kyo Yim. He's just about to come out. Pui Racing, they made a real mark last time, and a 159.199 last time for Kyo Yim. We'll rejoin him in just a minute. I tell you who's really put in a very, very good lap is Ali Khairudin. Not really heard of Ali Khairudin before, but GSR Esport, they're in the top 10, but rarely competing at the very top end. But Ali Khairudin put in a time of 159.2. He is now the new P2.
He is fantastic. GSR Motorsport. Haven't seen them. These are a team that's solidly in the top 10 all the time, but not really a top 5 contender until now. So for having to be P2, that's a really good lap. And you know what? He's 3/10 up. He's 3/10 up as he comes through turn 6 and 7 onto that long back straight. And he's 3/10 up on his time. So if he can maintain this all the way, he'll be challenging for the front row.
There in the very sexy McLarens. He's in a team alongside Lowu Kit and Fahad Gaffour in the McLaren. Looking very good at the moment down this long straight. Lots of good straight line speed. Did he get his dashboard? 6th gear, 7,000 revs, speed 270, and then slams down the gears down to 200. But he's taken that pretty quickly. Just managed to control it. Alex, how's his exit looking?
Oh yeah, but too conservative I felt, and like you said, just had to control it. Looked like he just overcooked it, but he's lost time. He's only a 10th up now on his best lap, which is not going to be good enough for pole position.
I tell you who's in pole position now. Andy O'Hara, car number 19, Team Laundry House, just completed a 158.8. 3/10 quicker than anybody else out on the track. It means that Ali Khairudin, at the moment, the man we're on board with, he is down to P3 with 4.5 minutes still to go in qualification.
Yeah, he'll improve on his lap a little bit, but not enough really to challenge for, it might move him to second at the very most, but it's not. So it does improve a tiny bit, but that mistake for turn 8 cost him a lot of lap time, unfortunately.
So Ali Khairudin, but good consistent lapping. 159.2 back-to-back laps for Ali Khairudin. That is very, very encouraging. The McLaren looks like it's enjoying the long straights. What mate would you reckon, if they get the setup right, will enjoy the 2 kilometre straight at Paul Ricard?
Well, the McLaren. That's why we're seeing a lot of McLarens up. The McLaren's very good for top speed. What else is good for top speed? Ferrari's pretty decent as well. The Smurk is very good as well. Front wheel drive, very heavy car. All the engines at the front. This is car 889, who's 4th in the championship right now. Sorry, 3rd in the championship right now. And it's driven by Andika Rama. So Rama is in the car, probably will start the race. Very experienced Indonesian drivers, one of the top drivers in Southeast Asia, if not even the top.
Absolutely. If he gets it right, then he could really, really be contesting. He's P6 at the moment, 159.5 his fastest lap. If he can just improve 3/10 though, he'll move up into the second row of the grid. That's not the smoothest of exits coming out there.
No,
as he comes through. Yep. P6 at the moment, 159.5. Doesn't improve on that. Remains in P6, Andika. So Andy O'Hara though, he's the man in pole position. Car number 90. What's happened to the other? Where is Lawrenson.
Yeah, that's a good point. Car
There
number
is
90.
Andy Lawrenson, championship leader. On the long straight. Let's get on board. Let's see what the dashboard is saying, his performance.
He's not really up. Well, he's left it late, man. He doesn't have many laps. He maybe have this lap plus one more to set a time. So the boys in Australia are under pressure in this Porsche. Don't forget, this is the car that's second in the championship right now. He's carrying some success ballast. Don't forget, we do carry success ballast in this championship. So he's carrying 12 kilos of success ballast, which around here will probably cost him a couple tenths a lap. But he's a very experienced driver. I think he's got enough time, even if it's only one lap. He should be able to get him back up into the top 10.
Well, they've only got this is his last lap. He hasn't got enough time. He hasn't got enough time. This has got to be his qualifying lap. At the moment, Andy Lawrenson is down in P21. There, as he comes over the start-finish line, this will elevate him up to...
No, he's got one more lap after this.
Has he? He's only got 127. Oh, he's in the...
Yeah, it's a bit different. You're thinking about race room.
I do apologise.
Yeah, qualifying ends.
So long as you start.
As long as you start here, that should be all right.
So Andy Lawrenson, then, this is his last chance.
Yeah.
So he's started his lap. He's still only P22. Worth sticking with Andy Lawrenson, I think, Alex, just to see how the one of the championship contenders really copes with this pressure lap that he's under.
Yeah, pressure. He can't take too many risks because he doesn't even have a banker lap. He doesn't have a lap on the board. So he's got to make sure this lap counts, and he can't take too many risks at this part of the qualifying.
Fourth gear, 200 kilometers an hour.
Wow, he's got to find a chunk of time, man. One point, he's like, 22nd position would be a disaster for the laundry house car.
We're so used to seeing them coming out near the top end. This is important for the championship. That long 2 kilometers straight. It's left the most intriguing part of qualification right to the final few seconds. His exit is good. What's he hitting? 5th gear, 216, 217. Exit out of this is so important, Alex Young.
It is. Looks okay, but the lap time is not looking okay. He's not improving. Wow. I'm hoping that on the previous lap, Lawrenson made a big mistake in the last corner, and that's why it's so slow. Because if that's the case, maybe he can find a chunk of time with only 2 more corners to go. But if he hasn't, wow, it looks like he's going to be starting outside the top 20.
It's possible. Qualification is over, so what happens in this final corner will decide where Andy Lawrenson is. 22nd at the moment, a 2.06 lap. His improvement is...
Oof, no, it's
no
nonsense.
Improvement.
Wow.
He is going to be starting in P22. Team Laundry House, what a contrast. Andy O'Hara will be starting in P1. Andy Lawrenson will be starting down in P22. That is something we are not used to. There is Andy O'Hara with his special goggles. He's looking good. He's looking very, very happy with life. Pole position for him, but what a contrast in moods between Team Laundry House, Alex.
Yeah. So, one has pole, one doesn't have. But look at that, 3 McLarens in the top 3. Does.
So, we've got Andy O'Hara, car number 90. Then you've got Waco's in P2. And Kai Rudin, that's a really good job. That's the best we've seen from Kai Rudin, Fahad and Woykit so far this season. As you did say, the McLarens for the straight line speed is really the car to have. As we are back on live here, we've got a couple of minutes left. Any chance of a quick chat with any of the guys, or is it too close to the start of the race, Alex?
Well, yeah, we only got 4 minutes to the start of the race. It will be a bit tough for a quick chat. Do you mind if we just go for a quick commercial break for a sec? So we can sort out a few things.
Let's do exactly that. We're off for a quick break. It's eRacing GP Endurance Edition round 4 of 6.
Computer is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
It makes for a fascinating opening half hour or so, how the drivers can cope with the rain, Alex. They're on the formation lap now. How does the rain impact things? They'll all be on slicks, or they'll all be on dries? How do you select?
Look how much, look at the puddles. It's reflecting, the car's reflection is coming off the tarmac. Means it's super wet. Means it's going to be very tricky out there. The team's under, for sure, the easy choice is wet tires. You have to go wet tires. What the hard choice is, what setup do you go with? Because in these conditions, when it's this wet, you want a wet setup, and that's faster. But we have a 4-hour race with ×2, with the timing being double the speed. So there is a chance it might dry out, and if it dries out, then you want the dry setup, but you can't change setups mid-race, it takes too long. So you have to commit to one to the other. You know, looking at how wet it is, I think a few teams are going to gamble and go for the wet setup.
Now, how long will that rain last? It's 15 minutes plus, and then it's going to take a little bit of time to dry out as well. Let's have a look at Naqib Aslan. We didn't mention Naqib. He finished P4, which is a massive improvement on what he did at the Nurburgring. He will be happy that he is close to Andy O'Hara. There is Naqib, looking very serene in the wet, or just those furrowed eyebrows saying, I can't see a thing.
Yeah, doesn't he look calm? Top driver. I mean, in my opinion, I think probably the top sim racer we have in Malaysia. And he's only been doing it. He's still one of the new boys. I think third year in sim racing now, and you know I put his name up there with people like Andika Rama, who's in the Legion Racers car, Muhammad Alif Hamilton, who we also know is normally in this car. You know, those are the sort of drivers really at the top of the game. And of course, you know, it's great that we've got such a good selection. We've got the best from Hong Kong in the Wacker split table racing cars. You know, those cars are right at the top. Indonesian drivers here. Of course, let's not forget the Laundry House boys from Australia. They're going to be rapid. They're on pole position at the moment. We can go through the grid one more time, actually, just before the start of the race.
Very quickly. That's the timetable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is the grid. O'Hara, Kim, Khairuddin, Naqib Aslan. McLaren Ferrari. The Mercedes of Nigel Chua and Moreno Patana alongside Andy Karama. They're the top 6. Nabil Aslan and Ki Lee completing the top 8. Luis Moreno down in P10. Alexis Lopano and Suma Debilia will be a strong Filipino team.
Yeah,
right.
Just because you're wondering, there is success ballast. The top 10 from the previous round always has some success ballast, and you would have noticed that on the timing screen on the very far right. Some of those cars are carrying that ballast. It does make a tiny difference, not much really to affect the result, I feel, but it does make it more difficult. And O'Hara, who is on pole, is carrying the most ballast because he won the previous race at Nurburgring, so that makes his pole position even more impressive.
Andy O'Hara really slowing things down, giving Kyo Yim a real problem, and Ali Khairudin as well. It's a little game of cat and mouse just at the moment as they come round to the end of the formation lap. It is a rolling start. You can see right of your screen the checkered flag. That will be when we get underway, and it's Andy O'Hara from Australia who is just slowing slow. Oh, he's being a real pain for his fellow competitors, and then he'll suddenly accelerate away. Of course, O'Hara will be the man who is in the lead. We're on board there with Kim. Now we're on board with O'Hara, and we are underway. 4 hours of racing about to get underway. O'Hara, was the gamble good enough? I tell you what, because Kyo Yim has got alongside him. Andy O'Hara will go into that first corner, desperately trying to avoid contact. Andy O'Hara took a bit of a gamble there, Alex, but it seems to have worked out. Behind them, Nakib Aslam in P4. Gosh, that rain is going to be difficult in the early stages.
Yeah, that is very true indeed. Look at McLaren 1, 2, 3. They're all, and then the Ferrari of Aslan in 4th. But it's all getting pretty tricky. This first lap, when they come on that long back straight, we're going to see a lot of drafting, I feel. You want to really stay in this train of cars. There's going to be plenty of slipstreaming. And in 5th position, is that I think that's one of the Legion of Races cars. That's Pratama from car 889. So all the top boys are up there except for the Wackos Flip Table drivers. I don't see any of the Wackos Flip Table. Is the next 939 Law in 13th position.
Do we see drive-through penalties there for Pratama and Nabil Aslam? It's Nabil getting drive-through penalties.
Wow, the brother of Nakib in the second Stratos car, drive-through penalties. Oh, I'm not really sure what that's for. I'm going to have to look at the race report for that. But it's all getting... Look, there's the other Aslan there in car 333. Oh, he'll be disappointed with that.
But it's Andy O'Hara who has got away. He lost the lead going into the first corner, where Kyo Yim from PP Racing really made a move on him. But Andy O'Hara has done well. Now then, your experience as a racer, Alex, when it's wet, you just stay out of trouble, you just stay on the circuit, or you use this as an opportunity to make some ground and maybe take 1 or 2 risks?
Good question. At the moment, it looks like Andy O'Hara is just going to push on right now. Him and PP Racing is distancing the other cars. So look at that. Aslan's up to 3rd, by the way. That's interesting. But the top 2, they're just disappearing at the moment. Khairudin, where's he? He's dropped down a bit as well.
Khairudin dropped right down.
Yeah, he must have made a mistake. Such a shame, with his best qualifying so far. Don't worry about the time screen on the left right now. It will clean itself up. Always on the first lap, it kind of goes nuts and goes up and down. Nigel Chua, speedtime.my, up there as well. Nigel Chua in 4th position. He's a real... Nigel Chua's one of the drivers on the ACC game who's extremely solid and quick. There's Khairudin. His mistake on the first lap has put him down to 21st position. Wow, what a shame for the young driver.
Now then, another one to really look out for, Andy Lawrenson. He started in P22. Within a lap, Alex, he's got himself up into P13. Really important. He's got Alexis Lopano in front of him and Russell Reyes as well. But that is a good recovery first lap from Andy Lawrenson, car 911, second in the overall championship standings.
Wow, what a first lap that was. We're going to have to watch that and get it on the highlights package later in the week, because Lawrenson went from 22nd to 13th. That's almost like Fernando Alonso in yesterday's sprint race in Formula 1. But see the straight line speed of the Porsche just going backwards there. The Porsche does not have good straight line speed here.
That's the long straight, as we are on board here with Andy Lawrenson.
Doesn't look like him, does it?
No, it didn't. And then we just get a little view of those dark, forbidding clouds. There is more rain scheduled. Track temperatures relatively low, 31 degrees. Andy Lawrenson is in P13. His Laundry House Endurance, not teammate, but same car, same group, in the lead, though, relatively comfortably. And you mentioned that he and Kyo Yim have been able to pull away. That is a heck of a lead that they've got over Nakib Aslan, Alex.
Yeah, Nakib Aslan's coming under some serious pressure from the Speed Tavern on my car of Nigel Chua. So, you know, this is going to be an interesting battle because the Ferrari at the moment does not seem to have the pace of the McLarens. Well, no one seems to have the pace of the McLarens, to be honest. But this McLaren, but the Mercedes and Nigel Chua is looking so quick here. Looking towards the inside, will he have a look? No, he decides, nah, he doesn't need to overtake at this point, which is actually smart thinking if you ask me. It is a 4-hour race. You don't want to try a tricky, risky move right now because the risks do not outweigh the rewards at all.
Nigel Chua of the Speed Tavern Malaysia team, car 49 in the Mercedes. His partner will be Ivan Anastas. Interesting to see what kind of tactics the guys will use. We saw Nakib Aslan stayed out for 2 hours in the last race, and his partner Alif brought them home. Nigel Chua really putting the pressure on Nakib, but in front of them, Andy O'Hara and Kyo Yim are being able to pull away, Alex. In fact, Andy O'Hara's pulled away from Kyo Yim quite successfully in P1.
Yeah, that is. It's pretty impressive. Just want to go back to Nigel Chua though, because
as he's going through that long right-hander, sweeping around the outside on the slicks, and he runs wide. That's going to compromise him there as he tries to switch back into contention here. Again, trying around the outside, so this gives me the indication that I think Zini has not pitted for the slicks yet, as again, looking for a switchback there, does the Porsche driver on the Ferrari, and just a better drive. It looks like he has so much grip everywhere, so yeah, as he passes now into P11, and I suspect that Zini, if he hasn't already, will be coming in this lap to pit for slicks.
Well, the double switchback working beautifully there for Terry Rayton. He moves up into the top 11, as exactly you mentioned. Mohamed Zini veers off and goes into the pit lane. So Terry Rayton for Team Laundry House Endurance. His last lap, that was a 2:01.4, so he's lapping pretty well at the moment. Somebody I want to bring attention to, Nakib Aslan into the pits. He got himself up into P13. Remember, Nakib had that dreadful spin that dropped him down as low as P30. Slowly but surely he's moved his way up, and now he's taking his second pit stop. I'm wondering if there's going to be a change of personnel here as well. We'll keep an eye on Nakib. He's got Mohamed Tasbi as his partner for today.
Yeah, I can imagine that Tasbi will be doing the next stint. Splitting the race half and half would make sense in this case. Although if, of course, Nakib is on a charger, you could always keep him in a little bit longer and just try and see how much further he can get that car off the grid.
Okay. Well, we got Andrew Lawrenson on the radio right now. He'll be scrambling to try and unmute his mic, I think. Andrew, interesting first stint. Wait, before you ask you about the first stint, tell us, what tyres are you on now?
The right ones, slicks.
Slicks, okay. So that was a great gamble by you to go in early for the slicks.
Yeah, it's... give me a second. Hey, Terry, we're just on an interview. Sorry, I'm just telling the driver and on the other radio comms. Yeah, it was lucky timing. We knew we had to run stint 1 as long as possible to see what happened with the weather, and that would give us options later on. Unfortunately, because of the max driver times, we can't save ourselves a pit stop. But timing looked pretty good on the wets. Those slicks were... Sorry, on the slicks, the wets were going over pressure pretty quickly and they were turning to mush. So... probably just a strategy masterstroke, isn't it? I mean, that'd be the way you describe it.
We'll see in 4 hours. We'll see in 2 hours.
Fair enough. I'll start counting my chickens now.
So, what do you want to talk us through that first stint?
Oh, I'd rather not. I'm getting flashbacks. It wasn't too bad. We just had a few contacts. I got caught up in a spin on the Mistral straight where I saw the yellow flag, so I avoided the car I saw on the right. And then the car in front of me pulled to the side and revealed another car right across in front of us. So we clipped him and copped a little bit of aero damage, which wasn't great. The balance was fine, but top speed was about 10 k's down, which was not ideal. We then had a couple of contacts with a bit of the field thereafter, which scuppered our chances to really grab spots, but we're still moving up, which is alright. If we can get it in the points, good recovery. We sort of sealed our fate a bit with qualifying.
Yeah, I was going to say, what happened with qualification? Because P22 is very un-Laundry House-like.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. No, we rolled the dice, and it was getting wetter, and it was probably slicks, overpressured slicks that should have been run when we first went out. And we rolled the dice and thought, maybe we should run the wets and keep them cool. And we were wrong to the tune of about 1.5 seconds. And after that, it just got wetter and wetter and wetter. So unless you got it right in the first 5 minutes, there was no coming back from that.
Well, you've answered all the questions that we had. That's very, very... we should have come to you a lot earlier. We'll come to you in the middle of your drive next time. But you were very entertaining. I've got to say that, because you went from 22 up to a top 10 place, back down to 16, back up into the top 10. That's not good for the old heart, Andrew.
It's not good for the old heart, but we're not here to win. We're here to entertain. It's an entertainment program, not a sport. But no, look, it was interesting at least. It was certainly enjoyable. The changing conditions make it a bit of fun, but hopefully it presents an opportunity to us from here, given the choices we've made so far. But see how we go. Long way to go.
Yeah.
Ish.
Brilliant interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Terry Rayton, the teammate, alongside Kian Butler. Were you able to listen in on that interview and glean a few little nuggets?
I'm gonna have to be completely candid here. I did not get it on my end for one reason or another on the shared screen. It was not coming through.
Well, basically, the guys are on slicks, and they gambled in qualification with the wrong tyre and the wrong pressure, and that's caused them the problems. But they seem to be doing pretty well. Terry Rayton has got himself up into P10 and is closing at a rate of knots on William Sunjoto in P9. He's just posted a lap time of 1:57.084. Andy O'Hara in P1 has the fastest lap time of 1:55.7. So Laundry House doing Australia proud just at the moment.
Yeah, again, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. These guys are trying to do whatever they can to make up for their somewhat disastrous qualifying, and already in P10 doing a great job of that, and a second closer to the car ahead than the last time we saw them.
Indeed. We're back though with P1. This is Andy O'Hara. Maybe a time to give a shout out to Kelvinder Singh. The Speeds haven't got my team. They really have impressed. Now we're on slicks. The lap times are coming down, and Kelvinder has just posted a 1:58.0 after a 1:57.6. So Speeds haven't my. They're not used to being in the podium places. We're used to being them in the top 5 and the top 10. But this is a step up from the Malaysian team. But 1 3/4 hours to go. Just let's have a reminder on where we are as we keep a look on Terry Rayton, who's got himself up into P9. He and Andy Lawrence have had a very entertaining try, but it's O'Hara and Bakida who lead the way in the McLaren, ahead of Kelvinder Singh and Afiq. What a drive by Kelvinder and Afiq. Wong and Lee in the Mercedes, Reyes and Gubala in the ever so stylish Bentley. First of the BMWs for Wong and Law. Javier Lai and Luis Moreno. Javier Lai, a late replacement in the Mercedes in P6. The 4-man team of Chan, Yim, Lai and Wong in the McLarens. Suma Debilia and Alex Lopano from Philippines in the Ferrari in P8. Terry Rayton in 9. Sunjoto, who's in his second stint in the Aston Martin. They are in P10. Blue Steel Racing in P12. Is this an appropriate time, Alex Young, to maybe go for a quick commercial break where we'll say thank you to our sponsors? We mentioned Casio, we mentioned Royal Selangor. We've got others as well. We'd like to give them a little bit of time as well.
Well, we're actually back with a 3-way, so we're up. And we're in the commentary booth now. But we're going to get Amo Hazik and Kian Butler to take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Alex, for that one. It's a bit overdue, to be honest, but yeah, was happy to listen to the whole thing just now. Yeah, to pick up on some things that were missed on stream, the lead in GT4 actually changed hands because the 404 got a drive-through. So that's why we had a massive change for the lead. Right now, the leader is the academy car number 21, but 404 were doing such a good job up until that point when they got a drive through, only to lose it, and it was because of corner cutting, so it wasn't in any incidents with other cars. While other incidents that happened included the likes of, well, gotta mention the number 41 car with Sim Kaiwen. He was actually hit by 2 GT4 cars while trying to chase up to the top 10, so you can see where after he ended time, as we're actually now in P12, so rather disappointed to have those 2 incidents. One was the number 57 Rising Line car, and the other one was with Team Uncle, and coincidentally happened at this very corner, coming up to turn 1, the S curve, and the last one, the Virage Dupont, the last corner with the number 57. So that's an update of why we dropped to 12 after a brilliant start from Sim Kai, went to from 24th up to 9th at one point. And then Bakita lost time to I think at one point as well to 9 seconds because she got blocked by the number 28 Team Uncle car. So at both instances were can't allow. So some of the incidents that I spotted while I was in the game just now, but other than that, it's been pretty clean so far. As we go back to the front of the grid, it is Andrew O'Hara who has been leading since lap 1, and it's been doing well here for the Laundry House car. So Kian, I think we're gonna see a Laundry House win, barring something dramatic happening in the final 1 hour and 30 minutes that remains.
Yeah, something dramatic, you say. Look at that top right screen. 15 minutes and we're back in the wet. Wow. So this is the variable conditions. I think this is going to be really important here because it's going to come down to which drivers waited the longest. I think Terry Radin might be in a really bad situation here because it comes down. This is almost at the end of a fuel stint, and so we need to see how long the drivers when the I don't know, tongue twister. When the rain does come, and it will come, how long they can stay out to get the optimum switchover point. But right now, like you said, Andrew O'Hara, he's learned his French. He looked behind and he says, "Hey, Hugh, sing, Toi mange mes asphalt." That's pretty incredible. That's it shows to go the lengths of simulation that the technology goes to, but. Sing now, you have to say, I think compared to the rest of the field, O'Hara's been in a league of his own in the dry. In the wet, he's a bit more touchable. So I think Sing is going to just be trying to hold on as much as he can because the gap now is nearly 40 seconds from what I can tell. So he's going to have to do some work to close it back up once it starts raining.
Yeah, looking at the map while I'm in the game as well. In fact, O'Hara is actually coming through the 3rd sector, and Calvin is only now coming through the 2nd sector. So that's a big gap that actually O'Hara has got. He's got a lot of pocket space, so plenty of time to kill, as we can safely say, because he's got that much of a buffer to 2nd place. But the rain can actually play into Calvin's hands here. If, let's say, the rain gets heavy enough and O'Hara misses the pits and Calvin can actually come in to change tires and presumably change back to Afi, they're in the driving seat here. So we're going to have to wait and see how much of the rain is coming. In fact, right now, looking at the top right of the screen, there you go. Intensified level 1 rain. So you can see that it's not as heavy as what we might expect, but it's going to be still enough to make the track surface very slippery indeed.
Yeah, so that will be playing into tire strategy. You'll be playing into your fuel strategy. 1 hour and 35 minutes to go. Sorry, 1 hour, 35 minutes, 55 seconds if you want to be exact. The time at the track is 5:04 p.m. as we come for the right-hander with Jonathan Wong in the 969 Waco's flip table car, currently in P3 with a gap of 4.6 seconds to the car behind in the Bentley. The Bentley, he'll be trying to close up a bit, won't he?
Yeah, and the Bentley of Russell Reyes is actually just only 5 seconds behind him right now. In fact, Jonathan Wong is only about 6 seconds behind Calvin Desing. So these guys are keeping each other earshot here. So anything can still happen with this lot if the rain actually comes as soon as we were expecting. In fact, 5 minutes time. In fact, I think you're right, less than that. Maybe about 4, even 3 minutes that the rain might start spitting onto the road. And that track level, the level of grip on the track might just change from optimum to slightly green after this. And now at the 1 hour and 25 minutes mark left to go, I gotta have to make my lead because being called up by the team now. So, Kian, you can take over here with Alex or Des. It's been interesting to be in commentary for a while, but now I'm gonna have to get back into the race and see how the conditions are like for real, though.
Great job, Amo. Thank you very much. Sorry it was such a short stint. I'll take the blame for that one. But Kian was so good, we had to let him go. Right. How about this? Andy O'Hara, Kian, coming into the pits. So he's using that 40 seconds, but he's taking a slight gamble here, surely.
Yeah, it looks like he's just making sure he's on the right tire at the right time and using that 40 seconds rather than losing that lap time, a lap, and falling back. It looks like he's using it just as a way to make sure that he has the time for a second pit stop at the end of this race.
Kelvinder Singh. Now this will be fascinating to see if Kelvinder stays out and risks it. Would you put your driver's hat on, Kian? Would you take a risk at this stage? Kelvinder's never had a podium in endurance. Is it worth risking all to try to make sure you get that podium?
Well, let's put it like this. We have Jonathan Wong, who has risked it, has played it safe and is going to be making a second stop. We have Ray's behind, who is doing the same thing that Singh is right now, both of them staying out. So I think if you're Singh, you have 40 seconds ahead. This is a rare situation where you could make that up, and you have to do the opposite of what O'Hara did. It comes down, I think, at the end of the day, at how much fuel these guys have and how much driving time they have left, because remember, they did take themselves slightly out of cycle when it dried up earlier. So it'll be interesting to see, will we see any fuel saving? Will we see the drivers trying to just extend as far as possible? Kelvin the Singh has taken the lead now. So if he stays out on these dries versus O'Hara, I think we could see a little bit of a battle for the next 7 minutes or so.
Kian Butler with a masterclass in fence, sitting there, never answering the question, but giving us every possible scenario. What would you do, Kian Butler, if you were Kelvinder Singh?
I would. I'd take the risk. If I'm Kelvin Singh right now, I'd stay out. I'd take the risk.
Fantastic. Great to get that answer. A brilliant session from you, Kian Butler. Thank you very much. Great contribution to eRacing GP commentary. Alex Young is champing at the bit to get back with us for the final 1 hour and 20. We'll tune in again for you for a little bit later on, Kian, but for now, brilliant job with our thanks, and get those splinters out of your backside.
Merci.
It's good to be back. So we're riding on board with Nabil Iman from Lifestyle Motorsport, one of 3 Lifestyle Motorsport cars. He's doing a good job there as well, keeping the car on the road in what are very tricky conditions. I'm just going to have to echo what you and Butler were talking about, though, Des, which is I would take the risk. Because Kelvinder Singh, Russell Reyes, they have a chance to win this race, but they have to take a strategy call. And like Terry Rayton and Leighton House or Laundry House car number 90 came in and took the easy way out. So stay out, take the risk, and who knows, you might get lucky and win the race.
Well, fortune favours the brave. We don't really spend a lot of time on the GT4s, Alex. I'll take responsibility for that. They're the man who is leading the GT4s at the moment, Alex Cheer from the Academy, which will please you very much, I suspect, in a very neutral way. Yep. Alex Cheer has got the lead ahead of Chester Lamb, and it's quite a substantial lead he's got over Chester Lamb in that GT4 race. Yeah,
so he is at the end of the back straight. Cheer's going through the back straight. I'm proud of these guys because I've coached these guys. They're really good drivers now. And then Chester Lamb, let's see where he is. He's, that's a half a lap. He's more than half a lap behind, actually, isn't he? This part of the track is, he's not even onto the back straight yet. So, Chester Lamb, yes. But it's good for the Komachi Racing driver to be up to second, because these guys was down, as he goes up wide there. He was as far back as 6th position. So it's a good recovery drive by Chester Lamb. And this is the car that won the previous race out in Nurburgring. So to get back up to second after being 6th earlier on, it's been a great recovery drive by the Hong Kong-based team.
And it's exactly as Kian Butler, our previous commentator, was suggesting, that they would make a charge. He's called it right, but we are now in damp conditions, and that rain is getting heavier coming into the final 1 hour and 20 minutes. Abdul Rahman is third in the for the team racing line in the GT4. Aldo is racing pretty well, but Aldo has dropped from P2 to P4, Aldo Balagulam. in car number 12. Max Lee in the second of the team. Kamachi is in P5. Mohammed Ayman, who's not had any love from us at all. Sorry, Mohammed Ayman from the Hyperbuilt team. He's in P6. Jonathan Takumi Lee, our first look at the team uncle driver from Singapore, P7. And Andreas Wolf for Hold My Beer Racing. One of the most sensationally inappropriate racing names you can imagine. But Andreas Wolf is in P8 in that GT4. And there is Andreas, and his beer is being held away from him.
Well, he's got chewing gum. It says to be chewing gum racing. But yes, great to have him on board. And he looks pretty relaxed there, doesn't he?
Certainly does. P8 at the moment, but you can't really relax when the rain comes out, Alex. It is always a problem, but great to see Andreas in shot. Right, Kelvinder Singh has stayed out. Pippa Bakida is behind Kelvinder Singh. Russell Reyes has gone into the pits. So the only man or the only teams who've made a real gamble are Kelvinder Singh in the Speed Tavern.my team and William Sunjoto behind them as well. It is a gamble, but surely one worth taking.
I think it is, because he's staying out an extra 5 laps. And I think he's on these slicks maybe losing 2 seconds a lap to what he would be doing if he had wets.
Well,
that's 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But by stretching that, he's going to save about 25 seconds, 30 seconds, because he'd have to take an extra pit stop if he came in early. So for me, that's a net gain of, say, 20 seconds. So I think Kelvinder Singh's doing the right thing. And it's the only chance he has, I think, at the moment of trying to put a bit of pressure on Bakida, because this car at the moment does not have the pace of Bakida, the Laundry House Bakida McLaren. So you got to try and do it in the strategy.
There is Pippa Bakida for Laundry House Endurance, car number 90. This is the second stint for Bakida. It's been a good combination. Bakida alongside Andy O'Hara. Both of them have been very quick. They've led for the vast majority of the race, and the fact they're in P2 at the moment means that they are not leading for, I suspect, only 2 of the previous what lap are we on? We're on lap 78. I think they've been leading for 75 of the 79 laps that they've completed.
Yeah, dominant drive by Laundry House. You know, they've really come good the last 2 races. They finished first and second Nurburgring, and they're going to win today. Well, let's not give them the commentator curse. They're on track to win today, and if they do that, they're going to take the championship lead, which will be phenomenal for them. A really good result, obviously.
So there is Pippa Bakida, P2 at the moment. Williamson Joto has also stayed out. Binnaker Racing, that's a big gamble in the Mercedes for Binnaker Racing, car 908.
Yeah.
I keep calling it a gamble, but it's exactly what I'd do. Jerry Kuniawan has had a stint in the car. Can you split it? 3 stints? It's got to be 4 stints, doesn't it?
Yeah.
4 stints. So Jerry Kuniawan has got to come in and take a stint when they make their pit stop, which won't be this lap. Surely not this lap. Why are you coming in now?
Yeah.
Why are Binnaker coming in now? Because there's 76 minutes still to go.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake. They must have run out of fuel, because that's the only thing I can think about. You know, it's crazy to do a pit stop now, because he's going to have to do another pit stop with 1 or 2 laps to go in the race. So I think that's a bad decision, but we don't know what the situation with fuel is. Maybe they just run out of fuel and they couldn't take that extra lap.
Well, what a dramatic moment. But Kelvinder Singh, he did stay out. Kelvinder Singh, but his lead is, well, it's been closed in at a rate of knots, to keep my nautical theme, which is quite appropriate with all the rain coming down. So Kelvinder Singh has the lead. Pippa Bakida in P2. You can see there is Bakida right behind, closing. She made 3.5 seconds up on the last lap. Kelvinder will stagger around this lap, and he can't come in. He's going to have to survive another lap. If this was just 20 seconds slower, it would be perfect, but it's not. He's going to lose the race lead and still have to make a pit stop. It is a gamble that was worth taking, but Alex Young, a gamble that might not succeed.
Okay, so I can't turn away from this just yet, because this is the battle for the lead. But I want to have a chat with the other team that's winning the championship, because Nakib Aslan's out the car now. but we'll try and chat with him later. Let's watch this one more lap first, because this is the battle for the lead, is it not?
It is. This is for race lead. Now, both have got one full pit stop to go. I suspect the Kelvinder Singh pit stop will be a lot longer than the Bakita pit stop. But interesting. It was worth taking the gamble if they could have been just a little bit quicker. If the rain came 2 minutes later rather than when it did. If for Kelvinder Singh and so. But even so, Speedtavern.my have etched their names into eRacing Endurance, and Bakita on this long straight decides now is the time I make my mark, and Pippa Bakita moves into the lead ahead of Kelvinder Singh. Normality is resumed, and Kelvinder at the end of this lap will go in for the pit stop.
Yeah, good drive though. You know, you had to stretch it out no matter what. The pit stops do matter. You know, the least amount of pit stops you can do does help. And you know, it still puts him, you know, like you said, both cars have to stop again, and if Kelvinder Singh can have pace in this last stint on the wets, you know, he could put himself in a position where he could challenge Bakita for the win.
Kelvinder Singh, no matter what, even the chance, it's very early days, there's still 73.5 minutes to go, but the idea of this team getting onto the podium, I don't think we would really have thought about it in the teams that you highlighted at the start of the show, Alex, of teams to watch. I know you considered putting this group in, Speedtavern.my, but in the end you didn't. But so that proves that they are making a mark no matter what.
Yeah, no, it's great to see him do it. Here he is, comes to pit stops. This will be his final pit stop for wet tyres. Wow, they're really close to getting a podium though. But we'll come back to them in a sec, because Philippa Bakita, if she stays in the lead, this will be the car that's taking over the championship lead. But the guys that are leading the championship currently is the Stratos Motorsport cars of 111. So Mama Tasby is in the car. They've had a disaster after that first stint where they had that crash. We have to talk to the driver that did the first two stints, Nakib Aslan, who is in set right now in the computer screen. Nakib, not the race you wanted to have so far, is it?
No, definitely not. Yeah, I think we got a good qualifying, which I think for me personally hasn't happened recently in the ERGP Endurance Edition. So I was happy to get a good qualifying session, but then in the race, yeah, ultimately I don't think there's nothing I could have done. It was just a bump on the road. It was a completely straight line, and it just bounced the car and it shot me into the other direction. So yeah, it's been super unfortunate, but we've been on the comeback so far. We were a lap down from like 10th place, but we made our way back, so hopefully still some points on offer for this round.
So your teammate Tasby is in the car now. Obviously, how many minutes do you lose repairing your car after that accident?
We were looking at only like a 30-second repair, so it was not looking that bad, but when coming into the pits, we were slightly rear-ended by another car as well, so that added another minute. So in total, a minute and a half just sitting in the pits doing nothing at all. So painful, that's the least to say, you know.
Okay, well, that's the way it goes sometime motor racing. You're going to lose the championship lead, but if Tasby can maybe get to the top 8, that would be some nice points to try and take away from this round, won't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think after what happened earlier, it was definitely damage limitation, trying to reduce the damage that Laundry House can do to our lead. So hopefully, yeah, it look closer than it is right now. So
yeah.
What is the realistic ambition?
The realistic ambition is that, well, maybe a top 10 finish, you know, at this rate. As you know, or Alex said, maybe a top 8. That would be we'll be really happy with that if we come away with top 8.
Indeed, incredible. Great interview as always, Nakib.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Right, you mentioned you want to have a look at what's going on in the GT4 category. Alex Cheer is still leading the way. He's just about to be overtaken by Andy Lawrenson there.
Yeah, he's in first position. He's got a good lead.
So Andy Lawrenson, actually, that was important because Andy Lawrenson just overtook Gubala. That wasn't why we're there, but Andy Lawrenson's got himself into P5, and we saw him overtake Gubala. There, that was the move. That's a big moment for Andy Lawrenson. And for Team Laundry House, wow.
Wow. So up to 5th after starting 22nd on the grid. What a great result.
Okay, let's go back to our narrative. And let's hope nobody else races and interrupts our narrative. How dare they? Alex Gia, he is the man who is leading the GT4 from Abdul Rahman of Team Racing Line. Mark Darwin has dropped down a lot. Francis Matrio has got himself back up into P3. Interesting race from the VRS racing team, Francis Matrio. Chester Lamb is the best of the Kamachis.
Should have his teammate right behind him. There he is. His teammate's right behind him.
Is it? I tell you what.
Oh, he must be lapped
sure he
then.
is, you
He
know.
must be lapped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Max Lee is one lap down.
There he is. Yeah, one lap down. Wow, something's happened off screen for car number 929.
And somebody we've not mentioned at all, Tenku Ursiad in the GT4. He's 15 laps down. He's had a tough old time in the Merc as the Indian competitor goes past him. Sai 50 Sudhakar in 17th. Amo Hazik in 16th. Juan Afik in 15th. It's easy to focus on the guys who are at the top of the standings, but you need the guy. Somebody's got to finish last. And this in the Aston Martin, Ursiad, he may finish last, but my word, he'll finish last classically. A hyper-built team. From last to first, Pipa Bakida. Again, let's just bring up the track map just to show exactly how far ahead she is.
Yeah,
There
car.
she is at the bottom in the red. The man in P2, Kelvin De Singh, car 79. I'm looking for 79. I think it's in the group just ahead, you know.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what.
First to
There we
spot
go.
79.
There he is, 79, right at the top. About half a car, well, a third of a lap in front to be lapped.
So there's the long straight to come for Bakida. Maybe this is where a chunk of time will be made up. There is Kelvin De Singh. I've got him now. Thanks for your comments on Facebook. I hope you're enjoying the eRacing Global, Global Edition and the Endurance Edition. Global Edition resumes next week. As usual, thanks to sponsors. There's big attraction. We've got regular competitors. Delighted to have you on board. There's an E1 Championship looming as well, live on Astro Supersports. So what turned out as something just to fill what was only going to be 2 weeks to flatten the curve is now well into its second year, and we are over 250 races, many thousands of laps, hundreds of race leads. And Pipa Bakida is the woman who's leading this particular race.
Yeah, the battle. Let's see if Kubala's back into fourth position. So Andy Lawrenson's coming to the pits, I think.
Indeed, Lawrenson is in the pits. This will be Lawrenson's last pit stop.
Oh, he's not happy, is he? He's like, oh, I've done all the hard work, now I have to come in, I'm going to lose all this time. But the cars he were fighting, quite a few of them will have to do that last minute stop as well.
Well, this is because he came in about 10 minutes before. So the maximum stint time is 75 minutes. He came in at 85 minutes. Now he's out. What will that cost him? Well, Ali Karudin's gone past him. Javier Lai's gone past him. Terry Rayton is the new race driver, which is interesting. Andy Lawrenson takes off the gloves for one last time. To be fair, his interviews give a great insight into the thinking of them. We hope to maybe catch up with Terry. And talking people to carry up with, is it worth just getting any views?
Should talk to Terry about that?
Yeah. No, Terry's driving.
Have you talked to Andrew about that?
Talk to her about that, yeah, because he looked very disgruntled. When people are emotionally at their weakest, that's the perfect time to get them talking.
Yeah, he's not very happy, is he? Look, he's actually left the seat already, so I think he's gone for a toilet break. So, don't think we're going to get Andrew Lawrence just yet.
How about getting Kian Butler back in for a 15-minute stint? He had such a lot of value. If Kian is around, we'd love to get his thoughts on what's going on, because when the rain is back, it becomes a very different race. It looks a shoo-in for Bakida, but we saw how Nakib, it was interesting that Nakib said he hit a bump in the road. Literally hit a bump in the road, and that put him off. He wasn't able to control the slide, and that cost him multiple places.
Yeah, well, I think that bump might have been a netcode thing with Nigel Chua in the second Speed Tavern car, because they were right close together to each other. And we have got Mr. Andrew Lawrenson back on with us. So let's see. So Andrew Lawrenson just got out of the car. How was your stint? You didn't look very happy at the time when it was happening.
Oh, no. That was me just being tired and trying to swap the comms over and do IT things in the middle. I didn't see the request there. That's apologies if I put my person in front of the camera for too long.
No, we were looking for an emotional outburst. We are disappointed to get the rational Andrew.
Oh, yeah, if there was an outburst, you'd know about it. The stint was decent. We were limited by certain scenarios that the spreadsheets have spat out in front of us as to when we had to stop and how many stops we had to do, but we think we're on the correct tyre for the rest of the run. Unfortunately, probably got a bit too much fuel in the car, but see how competitive it is. We're back in the top 10, so are we still entertaining at least?
You could do better. A couple of pirouettes would be quite amusing. Maybe I'll start.
Already did one of those.
Okay, well, no, awesome job so far, mate. And we look forward to see what happens in the last hour.
I'm interested about the spreadsheet comment, and that because you came in before the 75-minute mark. What was the spreadsheet telling you? What was why did you come in before the 75-minute mark?
The change in conditions indicated that if we had to do another stop, and we did have to do another stop, that we should come in, put the wets on for light rain, and then split the balance of the stint into two pieces, and then change for the heavier rain later on, which is what we've just done. So it indicated that was probably the best thing to do if we had to stop, and we did have to stop, so it was just the right place to do it. Apparently, according to the numbers, which I trust.
Well, Terry at the moment is running in P11. He's within 3 seconds of Zora Sumadabilia, and ahead of them you've got Mohammed Tasbi. So a top 10 place is within grasp, but it'll be tough because Sumadabilia and Tasbi are both very, very good racers.
Yeah, look, we'll see how we go. I suspect, if I'm right, a fair chunk of the people in front of us will have to serve another stop as well, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think there is a fair chunk, so I think to get in the top 6 is certainly possible.
Magic. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Cheers.
Again, terrific insights. We can only guess when we're here, but it's the drivers themselves. It's one of the beauties of having the Zoom facility, that we can get the insights. So
Tasby, sorry, while we're just off camera, while that
he's moved up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got past Sumadabilia. So this is the championship leading car 111, and he's back into the lead. Back into the lead. He's back into the top 10, inside the top 10. Sorry, I'm so used to saying it.
That's dramatic.
Yeah, it is dramatic. But I want to have a chat. We'll see if we can talk to Nigel Chua if we can, because that was the car that 1-1 had a little accident with in the first stint that cost him all that time. So we'll see if we can have a quick word with Nigel Chua. His teammate is Ivan Anadas right now, who's in the car 49. So Nigel, can you hear us? Oh, you're muted, I think, Nigel.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Well, your teammate's on board right now, but yes, your race is rather compromised in that first stint. What happened?
Not too sure what happened there, but I think I was closing in on Nakib, I believe. I think that was for P4.
Yeah.
And I think he either aquaplane or I don't know, hit the pump or something, and he spun, so it took me out as well. And the rest of my stint was compromised. I decided not to pit, but I lost about 2 seconds of that and 20k down the straight.
Wow, yeah, we could see the damage on your car at that point. So this
it was like a 20 second damage.
Oh dear. Well, your teammate's doing a good job, up to 13th position. Do you guys have to stop again?
No. So we struggled a bit towards the end of his last stint, but we just wanted to make sure that we don't have to pit again. So we see how that works out for us. But we did lose a bit of time though, so we see if we can get back the time by the others having to pit.
Okay, we have to talk about your teammate though. Your teammate right now is in second position, second speed tavern car.
Yeah.
Whoa, wow. What do you think about that?
I think we should have been up there with them, for sure.
Yeah.
We practiced for the wet, I think we definitely had the pace, but that's just racing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that at least some of our effort is being rewarded. Hopefully, there's still half an hour, anything can happen. But I believe they don't have to pit again, so we see if they can catch Bukida then.
Yeah.
Well, what has been a difference, Nigel? Because the Speed Taverns team, we're used to mentioning your names, but not at the top of races. Yourself, you made a terrific start, and Kelvinder, as you're suggesting, he's driven superbly. What's caused this difference for this week? Because it's a huge jump for you.
I believe it's just the seat time that we put in. I think anyone with a bit of skill can be quick and consistent. We've given some seat time, so we definitely put in the effort this round, and at least it's paying off for one of our cars.
Well, practice makes perfect then.
Yep.
Well, really good. It's the best I remember calling on your performance. I'm sure you've won races around, but on a big stage like this, a terrific race. And the Speed Tavern team, I think we'll be hearing a lot more of you.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you.
So, Speed Tavern making a mark, making a splash in the rain in poor Ricard, but Pipa Bakida is rather squashing everybody else. The lead.
Hi Nigel, I'm a big fan.
Hello, who is that?
Just have to mute them, I think.
You don't even know your own teammate. Bye.
Hey,
Bro, people are still racing.
mute yourself, please.
Sorry.
All the racers are in communication with each other. It's quite a complex system that we have operating here with Zoom and Discord and the race itself. But hopefully it's giving you just an insight on how much work goes in. That was a great comment. Practice makes perfect, Alex. And the more work you put in, the luckier you get.
Yeah, that's what seems to happen. A lot of people, a lot of drivers especially, it's always about, oh, I'm unlucky this, I'm unlucky that. But it's about the practice. You put in more practice, you often end up putting yourselves in position to receive luck. And you minimize the chances of getting into bad luck. And over the long run, that's what happens, I mean, nothing Nigel could have done with the incident happened in the first stint, I think that's just sometimes you do have that. But over a long duration with more data points to go from, you put in the practice, you often end up putting yourselves in positions to receive luck and get the results.
Pippa Bakida's luck stretches to a lead of 1 minute and 26 seconds over Kelvinder Singh, who we were just talking about for Speed Tavern My. Jonathan is being dropped just a little bit, so having been overtaken, we wondered whether or not Jonathan Wong for Wacko's Flip Table Racing would be able to come back on Kelvinder Singh. The answer is no, but Lance Kubala did come back. Terry Rayton down in P10, but Lance Kubala has got himself in P4 in the nicest looking vehicle, the Bentley. Apologies for my British bias, but the Bentley looks just superb on the road. He is currently in P4 and has got a 5-second lead ahead of Wong Chak Ming, from the Wacko's Flipboard Racing team.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap there. But of course, let's not forget, this car will have to pit at some point, so it'll be interesting to see where that puts him.
I thought Kubala timed it right. I thought he got in the 75 minutes, or was only Kelvin to Singh who gambled?
Kubala came in a lap earlier, remember?
That's right, he missed it by a few seconds.
Yeah, you were like, why didn't he stay up? But we thought maybe he must have just run out of fuel.
Yes. Good memory. Marco Wong is in the driver's seat. Our first sight of Marco Wong. This is in the Pui Pui Racing. They're down in P8 now, Alex. Having been in P2 for so long, well, for 55 minutes anyway, then they had that problem. Dropped down to 7, got up to 4, now down to 8. Is this one of the variables of having 4 different races?
Yeah, I can never say that really. Only they can really answer that. But I mean, if I was with that team, I would be saying, listen, guys, why don't we run 2 cars, and then we can have 2 drivers in per car. Just more seat time is always good, you know. But you know that's their strategy. They want to go with 4 drivers, so it's 1 driver per stint. And they're all fast drivers. I'd have to say, you know, their misfortune today has nothing to do with the fact that they run 4 drivers. You know, they're involved in that incident that damaged their car, and after that, you know, they lost a lot of time.
Well, it's Javier Lai who's just in front of them. That's the battle for P7. So maybe I shouldn't be too critical, because I tell you what, Marco Wong is in the slipstream, and Marco Wong is making a move, and Marco Wong is then hit off the track. He's pushed Javier Lai wide. There was contact there between Marco Wong and Javier Lai, and that is a battle royale that sees Wong get himself into P7. Lai literally on the tail of Marco Wong. 25 minutes to go, an explosive moment.
An explosive moment indeed. Can Lai get back at him? Oh, he's gone wide of that corner. A little wiggle on the exit as well. So, Marco Wong with a great move and up into 7th.
Well, Marco, it's lucky he's fresh, huh?
Yeah. Fresh drivers, I guess.
Fantastic manoeuvre there. At one stage, it looked like they'd both taken each other out because the camera angle changed. But Marco Wong has got himself up into P7. Ali Khairuddin in P6. Let's have a look at Ali Khairuddin. He's right on the tail there of Wong Chak Ming. That's the battle for P5, Alex Young.
Wow. Khairuddin coming back. Oh, he's in the McLaren. Let's not forget, so McLaren's really good in the straight line. So's the BMW, mind you. Okay, I saw Khairuddin do this earlier. I don't know why he doesn't want to stay in the slipstream. Khairuddin doesn't realize about the slipstream, but I saw him do this earlier as well. If you want to catch up the car in front, you gotta stay in the slipstream because you will gain. But he doesn't want to stay in the slipstream for some reason.
Is it a vision thing?
I don't know. I noticed some drivers, they just don't realize this, and they don't mind staying outside the slipstream. But it's such a waste, because he would have caught up really close to Wong there if he'd stayed in the slipstream. So maybe someone in the team can just point this out to him, because he's not still using the slipstream well, and it's a shame, because I think he's faster than Wong in front of him.
Bakida, the championship, the race leader and soon to be championship leader, is on lap 104. 24 minutes to race, and we've still got battles raging throughout this competition. Kelvin De Singh and Jonathan Wong, less than a second in between them. This is the battle between Ali Khairuddin and Wong Chak Ming. This is the battle for P5. Marco Wong has just taken Javier Lai. Individual battles for points right the way through, Alex Young.
Yeah. So it's and look at that, one of the
pits. So that is Ali Khairuddin. That's possibly why he didn't make the attack.
Yeah, because he knew he was coming in this lap. He thought no point trying to make an overtake and slow them both down. And so, yeah, smart thinking then. This will be their last stop with 23 minutes to go. So it'll just be like a splash and dash. You're not going to take much fuel in, so I'm not sure whether they'll change tyres or not. Because it might be faster just to do a splash and dash and go to the flag.
Let's have a look at this little battle between Kelvin De Singh. There's Kelvinder. He's got 2 cars between him and Jonathan Wong, which he'll be quite happy about. Gutierrez from GT4 and Kurniawan. Wong goes past one of the GT4s. Kelvin De Singh, I can't tell you how impressive this Kelvin De Singh Muhammad Afiq combination has been. Completely unexpected.
Yes, it is. Because historically, this has not been the fastest of the 2-speed tandem cars. That one is, though the faster car has always been Nigel Chua and Ivan Inadas, which are currently now in 13th position. But wow, yeah, Mohammed Afiq drove a great first couple stints. You know, he was super solid. You know, actually, let's not forget that when Mohammed Afiq came in, he was only 20 seconds off the lead. You know, despite not qualifying right at the front. So he was doing a really good job. And then Kelvin De Singh's come in, not being as quick as Afiq, his teammate, but he's been super solid. And second position is a great result. And let's not forget, they don't have to pit anymore. Bakida, the leader, still has to pit. So that's going to bring down the gap between the 2 cars to a lot closer.
To only 10 laps. Bakida has been so outstanding. Absolutely incredible. O'Hara Bakida combination. It would be a real catastrophe were they not to win this. But Kalvinder Singh has done brilliantly. Just a chance as we approach the final 20 minutes. Some of the racers, some of the teams that we've not really given any tender loving care to. It's really worth mentioning the likes of Anandas we just talked about. One Afik in P14 for Lifestyle Motorsport. 3 Lifestyle Motorsport vehicles in today. One Afik has done pretty well so far, P14. Amo Hazik has got himself into the points at the moment. Blue Steel Racing, the Indian combination, Sudhakar, currently in P16, but they're quite a way down, 12 seconds down out of a place in the points. Hakimi Alim in P17 from Lifestyle Motorsport. Scotty Lee from Macau E-Motorsports is in the pits. Apologies for not mentioning that team at all. Jinmas Filton in P19. Andika Rama has got his team up into P20. Even though he's not going to score points, I tell you, Andika was in the 30s at the start of his race, so he's done superbly. Shokat Takuma in P21. Hao Sheng Wan, welcome back to see you, P22. James Russell in P23. James Russell in car 555 in the black, beautiful looking Stratos Motorsport vehicle. And Kira Lam in P24 in the GSR Motorsport in the Bentley. Apologies if we've not given you much coverage. Your contribution and your racing is appreciated, but you will understand that we have to focus on where the real action is. Moving down to the GT4s, and the last time we visited, Alex Cheer was leading. This time we're visiting Alex Cheer, still leading that category, Alex. Yep. And he's racing well for the academy.
Yeah, he is solid, super solid job. You know, he's in the 17s at the moment, but his competitors, and he does get into the 216s occasionally, they're just not closing up. You know, Alex Shah got a really good lead from his teammate Bernard Chan, and he's just held it fantastically.
Francis Matrio is the man who's in P2, and he's got a good 20-second lead over the first of the Team Komachi cars, who we keep mentioning. That is in P3. We're mentioning them because they were so new to us. There is the Team Komachi Chester Lee. Zikri Hakimi is right behind him. So Chester Lee's just gone past Hakimi, obviously. That is a good little battle for a podium place for the GT4. Ahead of them, you've got Malvinderjeet Singh, who's being lapped. Jonathan Sakumi Lee has just gone into the pits. You are far too close. Indeed, I do apologise. The second Komachi of Max Lee, and Joey Gutierrez is down in P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the GT4s.
Just wait a sec, just a bit further down. I wouldn't mind having a look at Bernie, Ronquillo there. I struggle to pronounce his name, but there he is. In the Hold My Beer Racing. They've had a pretty decent race as well. Always colourful to watch this team, aren't they?
Hold My Beer, it's a great name as well. Angelo Lapuz, Andrew Kodrolochis and Tunku Ursyad. Just to give the name checks to all, everything you do is appreciated. Win, lose, or just drive. That's it's all part of the game, and improving is what it's all about. So
Absolutely.
Bernie, welcome. We'll hold your beer, my friend. And then we'll go back to Pippa Bakida, who is still leading. But remember, she must still come in for a pit. She's just lapped Lance Kubala. She has lapped all bar 2 racers.
Wow.
The O'Hara Bakida combination.
Yeah, that's right. Kubala's last lap was a 205.5. Bakida in the 4s again. So, you know, she's just flying. Even though it's getting super wet now. Look how wet that track is getting.
Yeah, we did wonder whether or not it had dried down, but we had, an hour and a half worth of wet weather. Then it dried off for an hour and a half, and then wet weather once again. But slip sliding their way. There's the 2 individual leaders. The GT4 leader, Bakida, goes past Alex Jay. The GT3 leader goes past the GT4 leader. Pippa Bakida goes past Alex Jay. And Pippa Bakida comes through onto what will be lap 109 for Laundry House Endurance, team number 90. Will they go into the championship lead? Pretty sure they will. Terry Rayton has got himself up into P9. We mentioned that. Tasby in 8. Ooh, good battle coming on here, Alex. We'll keep a look at this one.
Nice.
Because Mohammed Tasby has closed in on Wong Chak Ming. This is the battle for P7. So you mentioned Team 111. If they made the top 8, that would be terrific. This is a chance with 16.5 minutes to sprint for a P7 finish and 9 points.
Yeah. I think both these cars have to stop more time though, don't they? So Chapman stopped already. He might have stopped.
Don't ask me difficult questions.
Okay, so if that's the case, Tasby we know has to stop one more time. So anyway, but Tasby just has to keep pushing really hard if he can. Tasby's last lap was a 7 though. That's strange. He must have had some traffic or something. They shouldn't be doing 7s. But he's getting very close to the back of Wong.
We're on board there with Wong Chak-ming. That is Tasby.
That's how close it is.
That's the battle for P7. 6 seconds ahead of them, you've got Ali Khairudin. 8 seconds ahead of him, you've got Marco Wong. 13 seconds ahead of him, Lance Kubala. 20 seconds ahead of him, you've got Jonathan Wong, who's just 2 seconds ahead of Kelvinder Singh. And somewhere on a different planet is Pippa Bakida.
That's right. We have to keep watch out for that because don't forget she will have that one stop. Oof, Tasby's had a good run onto the back straight. It's not really close enough to pick up that much of a slipstream. He's got to tuck into the slipstream. I know it's wet, but you will get a benefit.
Jonathan Wong has gone into the pits, Alex. Oof. That means Lance Kubaya has a chance to come through for a P3.
But Lance Kubaya will also have to stop just before the end. Oh, if only he'd been able to go one more lap before that last pit stop.
It was a matter of seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was seconds. Or is he going to hope that the game doesn't notice it and he just freewheels home for the last 20 seconds?
And that Bentley can do 75 minutes easily. The fuel consumption of the Bentley is very good. So if you fill up that tank, it will easily do like an hour 20. So it's not a case of fuel, but I think he just decided to put in early because of the rain. But look who is in.
Bakida.
Okay. We should put the map out, actually. So, Bakida's in the pit lane. The red dot signifying that he's in the pit lane as he changed tyres.
Car 79 comes up to the top, comes into the final sector. Bakida is in and out before there's even half a chance. Ooh, the Indian racer went very close.
Yeah, that was a real quick stop. She did not change tyres. She just filled up the car to make sure that they can get to the end, and that's the win out. So that was a super fast stop. Splash and dash, they like to call it in motorsports. And with under a quarter of an hour to go, still has a comfortable lead. What is that? Must be about like a 45-second lead, I think.
No doubt the tyres. The tyres are perfect. The performance has been perfect. Oh, who's that? That was Sudaka. Has just had a spin. Oh, and Sudaka gives us a little wheelie as well.
Another spin.
And then goes across the racing line just to upset people. People going left and right and up and down and over.
That's Chak-ming and Wong and Tasby.
That is Tasby. Tasby's able to maybe take advantage of all the chaos that goes on there. Tasby and Wong Chak-ming. This is for P7.
Tasby's got to stick in. He's another one that doesn't know how to stick in the slipstream. Someone please teach Tasby how to stick in the slipstream. Because he needs to stick in the slipstream if he's going to get a chance of getting onto him. But he's not disciplined enough. But okay, now he's in the slipstream, but he's lost those crucial moments when he should have been in the slipstream. If he had stuck in the slipstream earlier, more disciplined, he would have made the move. As it is, it's coming towards the corner now, and it's too late to overtake before the corner. But maybe he'll get another chance. No, he's running wide.
No chance of a switch back on there, just couldn't control it. But maybe he will have learned that lesson. 12.5 minutes to go. That's 6 laps. 6+ laps that he's got to get this right to pick up a P7. He won't get a P6, or he's unlikely to get a P6, although they are closing in on Ali Khairudin, which I'd feel would be pretty tough on Ali Khairudin. Yeah. Now then, where is Kelvinder Singh? Kelvinder Singh is in P2. Doing fine.
Doing fine. Going to get his first podium in P2 for this car. If we put it back on the map, we can see how far away he is. He's coming to the last sector again. What is the gap? We'll see when he crosses the line, but it's got to be about 45 seconds, maybe a minute.
So
behind.
Bakida is 15 seconds into her 110th lap. Kelvinder Singh is just coming into the last 2 corners. So the gap now is 25 seconds plus. He's got to negotiate these 2 corners and then the final straight. So even after that rapid fire pit stop from Pippa Bikida, the lead she had was 1 minute and 20. The lead that she maintains is going to be 45, 46.
44 seconds.
Yeah, 44 seconds. She's not going to lose that in the last 11 minutes.
No, she's not. But it's still, I mean, that gap's a lot smaller than I would have thought of at the beginning of the hour, because that Speed Tavern My car's done a great job, managed to keep up some good pace. To still stay within a lap of that flying Bikida is a good job indeed.
Mohammed Tasby just coming out of the pit. Sorry to cut across you. Tasby had to take that pit stop. Terry Rayton has got in ahead of Mohammed Tasby. Wong Chak Ming, I don't know whether Wong has still got a pit stop to go, but Wong Chak Ming stayed out. Terry Rayton has stayed out. He's done his last pit stop. We saw that. So Mohammed Tasby currently in P9 and has lost the space to Javier Lai as well. So P10 for Tasby. So that pit stop that they had to take could really hurt Stratos Motorsports. What could have been 9 points may well be reduced to just 6.
Wow. And Kunierwan's just right behind him as well. Go on board with Kunierwan. Just see if we can get it in shot of him.
Kunierwan in the slipstream. That's what you mean by the slipstream.
Yeah,
bits that you can't see.
Yeah, and you can see him on board right now.
The Binnaker racing driver racing out of Jakarta. Tries to get out of the slipstream, but there's traffic. Left it too late.
Yeah, he's darting out the slipstream just a touch too early there. But the straight wasn't long. Oh, and he's had a spin. Oh dear.
Oh, sorry, Jerry. We joined you at just the wrong time not to give you a showcase moment.
Yeah.
The bright lights of eRacing Endurance Edition. That's good news for Mohammed Tasby, though. It takes the pressure off him in P10. It means that he can try to claw back the 9 seconds on Javier Lai. Terry Rayton in 8. Wong Chak Ming in 7. Oh, Wong Chak Ming goes off the racing line as well. He's closed down. He lost a lot of time there. The track is beyond greasy. The track is soaking wet.
Wow. That's not a good sign, and he's got a drive-through as well. I wonder what the drive-through is for.
And so he's got a pit stop to make and a drive-through.
Oh, disaster!
So Terry Rayton could well get a top 7, Javier Lai a top 8, Tasbe a top 9. Oh, Waco's Flip the Ball Racing. Problems, no problems though for Pippa Bikida. Race leader, inside 9 minutes to go. It has been an exhibition from O'Hara and Bikida.
Yeah, and you can see the flashing number 001 on the windscreen says she's leading the race. That's the real life cars have that as well. And like I said, 44 seconds. The last lap was a 2:04.8. Convincing matched it actually, both of them in the 4s. And I think in these very wet conditions, 4s is a good lap time.
Kelvin De Singh. We'll just stay with Bikida as she goes into lap 112. 111 is unlucky for Aussies, so she'll be pleased to get that one out of the way. And the lead, even if it comes down under 40 seconds, it's a comprehensive lead. There have been precious few mistakes from O'Hara and Bikida. They gave us one of these season highlights when they lost control for a whole lap and had to scramble their way through in round 1 or round 2, I think it was. But here is Bikida leading the way. Kelvin De Singh equally impressive in his own way for Speed Tavern. Afik and Singh, what a combination. P2, Lance Gubala in the Bentley, but we think, we're pretty sure he still has to come in for a stop. But Jonathan Wong, what's the differential? It's 20 seconds, 25 seconds between Gubala and Jonathan Wong as Munoz is overtaken.
Gubala in 3rd position. What a great result for VRS Racing. You know, VRS Racing and Sim Racing Filipinas, they've had some really bad luck this year in the Endurance Edition. Have not really got the points I think they deserve for their speed. shall we say. I mean, you get what you deserve, really. But these cars have been quick this year, and it's great that they're on course now. Oh,
no, there's his pit stop. Okay.
There's that pit stop.
There's his pit stop. So Jonathan Wong is the man we need to keep an eye on. Jonathan Wong comes around. So Jonathan Wong is chasing. It was 25 seconds. There is the pit lane. Just to your left, Gubala comes out. Does Jonathan Wong go through? This is for P3. Jonathan Wong, Gubala has to keep his speed down. There is Jonathan Wong. There is Gubala. Wong into P3. Gubala loses it. So Jonathan Wong for Wacko's Flip Table Racing moves into P3. And purgatory for the Bentley of Lance Gubala.
Wow, so such a shame. It was a really quick stop, splash and dash, put in like 5 kilos of fuel, probably 10 kilos of fuel. That would be it. And then Gubala's out again. 6 minutes to go, though. Oh, that gap is too big, though, isn't it? I don't think he's going to get on the podium.
Well, there he is, the man in P2. You can see the car 969 just ahead of him, just peeping out behind car 401. But only 6 minutes. It's a sprint now, Alex. After 4 hours, it's a sprint to the line.
Yeah. Oof, that is close. So Gubala there, look, he must have been crying as he went to the pit lane. I wonder, I'd love to be in their post-race briefing to find out what happened, why they pitted with only a minute or two to spare.
Seconds to go.
You know, that last splash and dash costing them the podium.
Alright, what else close have we got? Mohamed Tasby. Mohamed Tasby has closed a pretty tight to Javier Lai. Time might be running out for Tasby, but car 111 in P10 at the moment. He made up nearly a full second on Javier Lai on the last lap. We have got what, 1, 2, 3 laps to go.
Yeah, it'd be tough though, wouldn't it? But with only 4 minutes to go, Des, we should have a quick look at the GT4 battle.
Indeed, let us go down to the GT4 leader, Alex Cheer.
You know, they didn't qualify well today, but they've been super solid and wow, just stayed out of trouble. Bernard Chan, they're actually cousins, you know. Bernard Chan, who did the first 2 hours, and now Alex Cheer, who did the last 2 hours. Steady as she goes, and they have quite a big lead now over the VRS car, Francis Matrillo.
There is Francis Matrillo. This will be a good result for VRS. You mentioned VRS in the GT3s. This is a good result for Matrillo as well. He has been able to hold off quite comfortably the Team Kamachi Chester Lamb challenge. And also Jonathan Takumi Lee, who is just about to cross the line at the end of his 103rd lap. So there's P4 for the Singaporean Takumi Lee for Team Uncle. Zikri Hakimi in Team 5 for Team Racing Line. Maxi Lee in the second of the Kamachi racing cars. And Joey Gutierrez, Malvinderjeet Singh completing the top 8. Final 3.5 minutes though, Alex. Pippa Bakida, quick thoughts. Surely no way on this earth is she going to throw this away now.
No, yeah, just not going to happen, is it? Wow, so pleased with them. What a great drive. You know, tricky conditions today. We've had, mostly rain we've had all day, but even when it was dry in the middle, they were still quickest of all, and a dominant victory by Bakida.
So I was just looking to see, I thought it was a little bit closer between Kelvinder Singh and Jonathan Wong. Jonathan Wong is there. That's not Kelvinder going wide, is it? No, it was Kelvinder just in front. Lance Gubala can't get close enough. It's 5 seconds between Gubala as Jonathan Wong overtakes a GT4 racer. Kelvinder Singh, what a performance by Speed Tavern. Dotmai, really good for them. Terry Rayton has got himself into P7. Wong Chak Ming into P8. Not close enough to Terry Rayton, but very, very close to Javier Lai. No, it's not. I do apologise. Javier Lai's isolated. Mohamed Tasby closing in, taking a second a lap off Javier Lai. There could well be a last lap bit of drama there for Javier Lai and Mohamed Tasby for Stratos Motorsports 111. But surely our focus now, Alex, should come on to Pippa Bakida, because when she crosses the start finish line now, she will be coming into the final lap of the race. Goes on to lap 115, and this is a victory lap at the end of 4 hours. Back-to-back victories for Team Laundry House Endurance. Bakita and O'Hara, they are leading the way. They have set the standards after a difficult opening 2 rounds to the season. There's been rain, there's been storms, there's been crashes, there's been moments of difficulty, but Bakita and O'Hara have got rid of them all, and this is a victory lap. Alex Young, talk us through it.
Wow, yes. So coming to now to the turns 5, 6, and 7, and Bakita just threading her way through some traffic at the moment. That's one of the GSR McLarens in front of her, and only half a lap to go now before they complete their 2nd win of the season. I think this will be the first 2 wins. This will be the first team to take 2 wins in the season so far, and with that, they will take the championship lead. So we had Andy O'Hara, and we'll speak to Andrew O'Hara after the win, after they cross the finish line, and Philippa Bakita, who's done the second 2 hours. Actually, no, they swapped, didn't they? They went O'Hara.
They
Bakita,
split.
O'Hara,
They split 1, 2,
Bakita.
1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah.
That's right. So Bakita coming in into the 3rd sector. Only a few more corners to go. She's going to win by about 50 seconds over the 2nd place Speed Tavern.my car. Laundry House, though. Well, how happy are they going to be? They're going to win this race, and the great recovery drive by the 2nd Laundry House car to finish 7th as well.
Bakita leads the way. They have lapped all bar Lance Kubala, Jonathan Wong and Kelvin De Singh. That is how dominant a performance it has been. They were fastest in qualification. They led into the first corner. They have only been led for 4 of the 115 laps that we have had so far, and each of them because of the intricacies of pit stops. Philippa Bakita and Andy O'Hara are coming through and will take the victory in eRacing GP Endurance Edition Round 4 at a wet and rainy French circuit. Fabulous performance of Paul Ricard. Philippa Bakita takes the victory alongside Andy O'Hara for Laundry House Endurance. 2nd place, let's just briefly hold on for the congratulations, Alex, because Kelvin De Singh and co will take 2nd place. They're a long way down on them, but it'd be about 40 seconds by the end of it. 2nd place for Kelvin De Singh, but the victory goes to Laundry House, Philippa Bakita and Andy O'Hara.
Wow, great result for the 2 teams there. Let's see if we can talk to Andrew O'Hara right now. I know his camera's not working, but we'll see if we can get him on audio. Andrew, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Oh, well, that's good.
That's good. Well done. Congratulations on the race.
Yeah, thank you. That was a tough one with that weather, but that was good fun.
Wow, well, fantastic. But I mean, you take the championship lead as well, so must mean a lot to you.
Yeah, it's nice to be in the lead after the start we had. But yeah, strong tracks for the McLaren in the middle here, so got to make the most of them.
Okay, well, congratulations. Thanks very much, and we'll see you in the next round.
Yep, righto. I'll catch us then. Thank you.
Cheers.
Were there any moments where you felt that you were in jeopardy there, Andrew?
Well, I think we just lost him anyway.
There is the overall championship lead. Bakita and O'Hara with the victory today. Total time 240 minutes 19 seconds, 0.5. 116 laps completed, 36 seconds clear of Kelvin De Singh and Afig. Terrific performance from the My Tavern Malaysia team. The McLarens in 1 and 2. Jonathan Wong getting the better of Lance Kubala right on the final pit stop change. The Mercedes beating the Bentley. Car 969 will be doing well in the championship standings. 16 points for them. 13 points for Gubala and Reyes. Great performance in the Bentley. Kyrudin, Terry Rayton picking up 6. Marco Wong 7th. Wong for the 2nd of the Flip-Double Racing in 8th. Javier Lai holding off Mohammed Tasbi by less than a second. There is your top 10. There is a new championship leader, Alex Young, because the Stratos Motorsport team, that early incident with inside the first 10 minutes means that their whole season changes.
Oh, it does. I mean, Laundry House now has such a strong championship lead, right? And now, we had the Stratos Motorsports cars out not out, but having this trouble in the first stint. Legion of Races car also had those issues as well. So it's going to be tough for them, and they're going to have to regroup from this. It was a tricky race, of course. You see how much rain that was going down. The conditions would have been changing between slicks and wet. So, tricky race indeed.
Love the rain. Love the rain, absolutely. So many stories to tell. Stratos Motorsport losing the lead is one. Laundry House, though, what a great recovery that is from the from car number 90. After the start of the season that they had, I tell you, things can change very, very quickly in endurance. One bad race and you're in trouble. Two good races and you're right back up at the top.
Exactly, and we've got 2 more races to go, let's not forget. We've got Silverstone, which is another 4-hour race. But then the last race at Spa, that's a 12-hour race with double points. So we know nothing's set until the very last lap of the season.
Okay, so for Team Laundry House, many congratulations. Back-to-back wins for them at a wet and windy Paul Ricard venue from France. Real congratulations to My Speed Tavern from Malaysia, and everybody who competed at GT4 level and GT3 level. We will post the results on Facebook as soon as they are confirmed. There'll be 1 or 2 moments, I'm sure, that will get a little bit of close attention from the stewards. But Alex, there's no doubt about the winners in both categories.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. Laundry House with another great win. And of course, the Academy returns back to a win with the GT4 category with Alex Chia and Bernard Chan. So that actually will put them back into the championship lead as well.
Okay, we return to the eRacing GP Global Edition next week. So that's season 7 of that. The Endurance Edition takes a little break until September, when round 5 of 6 comes to you from Silverstone. But from Alex Young, myself, Des Corkill, and the small team behind the scenes who are working wonders to bring you these pictures, it's been our pleasure to bring you eRacing GP Endurance Edition.